Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, the Senior World Cup correspondent for the podcast, and I'll give you my thoughts on the World Cup. I'd like to start with a moment of silence for Italy. Four-time champs failed to qualify in their second consecutive World Cup after having lost 1-0 in qualifiers back in March, at home, to North Macedonia. Like any good sporting event, this year's FIFA World Cup has not been without its upsets. This has resulted in a lot of exciting games and, regrettably, money lost from my sportsbook account. Some of the more impactful upsets of this tournament are Iran's defeat of Wales, Japan's upset of Germany, and probably the most surprising at this point is Saudi Arabia's defeat of Lionel Messi's Argentina. My teams to watch are Portugal, Brazil, and France. Portugal because they're in a weak group and they have Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, what more could you ask for? Brazil, they're also in a favorable group, and they're always one of the tournament favorites, and their style of play is very creative and fun to watch. If you have the opportunity, I'd strongly suggest catching one of their games. And France because they are a European soccer powerhouse. They have a flair for the dramatic, and they're driven with experience and are a technically sound squad. My dark horse for the tournament is Japan. Their win over Germany was impressive. Germany is either highly overrated for this tournament or had an absolutely terrible match. Either way, Japan's dominant performance throughout leads me to believe they're capable of a deep run. Now let's shift the focus back to Team USA. We have one of the youngest squads in the tournament with an average age of around 25. The team is led by Christian Pulisic and my boy Weston McKennie. While their youth does indicate a lack of experience, we should almost view this as a strength. What they lack in experience, they more than make up for in their fitness, determination, and eagerness to make a name for themselves. The defeat and humiliation of our national teams from the past decade is lost on this group, who only see the potential for greatness and glory on the world stage. Regardless of the outcome for them in this particular World Cup, we should see the core of this team together for years to come, and they will only grow stronger as they gain experience as a team. In the U.S. recent game against Wales, U.S. came out of the gate brilliantly in the first half, took the pace of the play directly to Wales, and dominated the entire half. While their playstyle wasn't as polished as their contemporaries, everyone wore their heart on their sleeves, and they ended the half with a 1-0 lead thanks to a spectacular goal by Tim Weah. The second half couldn't be more different from the first. They came out flat, looked exhausted, like they spent all of their energy in the first, and ultimately Wales took control, scored a late game penalty kick which tied it at 1-1, and that's how the game ended. The U.S. had a much better showing against England. While they did come out weak and waited for England to take control of the game, they slowly became acclimated to England's play style and began to engage here and there, building momentum without making mistakes. They ended the half with some great scoring opportunities while playing England as equals. In the second half, the U.S. picked up where they left off. They limited England's scoring opportunities and did a great job of keeping the ball away from Luke Bryan doppelganger Harry Kane. There were some puckering moments late in the game as a defensive for the U.S., now playing with some swag, got careless and made a series of terrible decisions and passes. Luckily for the U.S., England wasn't able to capitalize on these, and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. The U.S. looks forward to a match against Iran on Tuesday, the last of their group games. If the U.S. wins, they advance to the knockout round. If they lose, it's a long plane ride back. My 3 keys to success for the Team USA. First, we need to get the ball to Christian Pulisic. While he has these tiny little legs and isn't very fast, he is very quick and wily. He is the U.S. greatest scoring threat, and we should give him every opportunity to do so. Which means, number 2, get someone else to take the corners and the free kicks. Pusilic's delivery of free kicks against Wales was atrocious. Have someone else take them. Every player on the national team should be able to hit a cross. Pulisic needs to be on the receiving end of these kicks, where he'll have the opportunity to clean up scraps and put the ball in the back of the net. My third key to Team USA success is our midfield. We have an extraordinary group of midfielders in McKennie, Musa, and Adams. The U.S. midfield are the hips of their attack. Like a boxer will tell you, all punches start from the hips. Likewise, all the U.S. scoring chances are generated by the exceptional effort and passing of the U.S. midfield. Their ability to maintain possession, find openings, and work the ball to their strikers is one of their greatest strengths of this team. And with that, kicking it back to you fellas.